Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear participant, in first two sessions of recruitment analytics, we have learned what are the questions that a manager need to answer at a workplace. After that, in a second recruitment analytics session, we learn about few metrics that will help a manager to answer the few questions. In continuation to those metrics, in this session also we will learn about few more important metrics that may help you to make some important decision at the workplace related to recruitment only. So, first thing, employer brand, right. So, what is the strength of an organization to attract the talent, right. So, that is what we will understand through the various metrics of related to the employer brand. So, first we need to understand what is the main reason why our organization is not able to attract the right candidate. It may be because of the competitors, right, shortage of candidates, expectation of candidate, organization culture and leadership of the organization. So, any one of the could be the reason. So, what do you have to do? First, you need, if you want to understand if your organization is big, you can run a survey in your organization to understand why your organization is not able to attract the right kind of talent for the vacant positions in the organization. So, as I said, these are the options that you may give in your survey, right. So, how to develop these options? You can do the brainstorming in your team, and based on that brainstorming you can develop some of the options which may be responsible for not attracting the right kind of talent, as well as you can take expert opinion to develop these options. So, the moment these options are developed, then you can do a survey why your organization is not able to attract the right kind of talent. So, in that survey what you can do, you can see how what is the percentage of people believe we are not able to attract the talent. It might be you have conducted the survey and survey found that 25% people believe because of the competitor our brand is not strong enough to compete with our competitors. So, that is why we are not able to attract the talent. Some of the person, let us say they believe that because shortage of the candidates are available, eligible candidate for the available position is there, right. And third reason, let us see some employee of the organization believe that expectation of the candidate, organization culture and leadership. So, based on the percentage of your employees within the organization, you can take a decision what you should do in order to develop a strong brand. So, first, before developing the strong employer brand, you need to understand what is the reason why your brand is not strong. So, first you need to understand. So, existing employee may give you the reason why you are not able to attract the right kind of talent. Second, a survey that you can do with the rejected candidate. Every year you are taking lot of interviews, so you are rejecting the employees also. So, you can do a survey with those employees who have been rejected, right, and then you can see what they believe, and based on that you can understand what are the difficulties in attracting the talent. Next metrics you can use in order to understand your brand awareness, consideration and preference, right. These are the three things that by understanding awareness about your brand, consideration and preference, you can do the brand image analysis, right. So, do you know about this company? This company you can replace by your organization name in which you are working. For example, just I have written this company. So, you can replace your company name. Do you know about XYZ organization? Let us see how many people say yes and how many percentage of the people say no, right. Would you like to work for this company? Again, you would like to see the willingness to work, that is what you can see. Next, preference, are you planning to apply for this company, right. And then preference for the planning to apply for this company immediately, right. So, these are the things shows that how strong your brand is, right. So, in the case of Microsoft, Google, most of the IT professional would like to work for these organization, right. Although they are already working with the reputed organization, but still they, if they get opportunity with this Microsoft and Google, they may be interested to work. So, that shows that how strong their brand image is. But so, in the similar way, to understand what is the image of your organization, you can conduct such kind of survey with the potential candidate, right. So, I hope you would have understood in previous session the applicant analysis, right. So, from this applicant analysis, you can predict who are the potential candidate for your organization. So, this survey should be conducted among the potential candidate, and then you can understand how strong your employer brand image is. Next, measure the strength. So, now if somebody asks you how strong your brand is, so how you will be able to give this answer. So, simple formula is there: talent gain from the competitors minus talent lost to the competitors. So, right. So, you have defined the talent for your organization, who are the talented people. So, as per your talent definition, how many people from your competitors have joined your organization, right. Let us say 500 people have joined and 300 people have left the organization. So, still it is a positive. So, it indicates that yes, your employer brand is strong enough to attract the candidate. But if things is reverse, let us assume that 300 people have come from the competitor and 500 people have lost to the competitor and he left joined the competitors. So, here you can see the answer is minus 200, which indicates that your brand employer brand strength is not strong enough to compete with your competitors. So, you need to take initiatives, right. So, what kind of initiatives that you need to take? So, in coming matrices that we will discuss, but as of now you can understand you need to take initiative in order to compete with your competitor, in order to attract the talent for your organization. So, this is the small formula that you can use to describe how strong your employer brand is. So, here I was talking about what you need to do in order to build a strong employer brand. So, strength that you have measured, if it is positive, and then you have to make it the most preferable employer brand, then also you can take some of the initiative. If it is negative, then in order to compete with your competitor, then also you need to take some of the initiatives. So, what you can do here, you can do the employee complaint and praise analysis to understand what kind of complaint that your employees are making inside the organization and what are the good things they are talking about your organization, right. So, praises and complaints that you can divide into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 categories. So, all complaints and praises that you can divide into these 7 categories, right. So, people feel happy at a workplace, social, interest related to the person, job fit, whatever they are doing, application, whether they are able to use their skills or not, development, whether they are feeling their skill is enhancing or not, they are getting the sufficient rewards or not, management is honest or not, or whether they are able to maintain their work life balance or not, work life balance or not. So, that is what you can divide all complaints in these 7 categories, and then you can decide what answer is coming. Let us assume that 80% people are praising for the social life that they are having inside the organization, and 20 people are making the complaints, right. And in the same way, you can see worst place to work and then what is the percentage, and best place to work, what is the percentage, because these are the reasons for which people leave the organization. So, accordingly you need to decide for which reason employees are praising your organization and for which reasons employees are making the complaint for this organization, right. So, the moment you understand this, then you can develop the employee value proposition accordingly. So, this analysis will help you to develop the employee value proposition within the organization, right. So, this is why people leave the organization. If you run a survey and within the organization, or you do the complaint and praise analysis, you found that most of the people are making the complaint, it indicates that your organization will have a highest attrition rate. People will not talk good things about your organization, and your employer brand will become weaker and weaker, right. If you want to make it strong, then you have to think for what they are praising, for what they are making the complaint. If you believe that, then you have to make employees who are making the complaint for some of the regions, you have to think about it and how you can improve those things inside the organization. That is what will help you to retain your employees within the organization, as well as to develop the strong employer brand. So, this is the matrix that you can use in order to understand employer brand value proposition. Next, if you want to compare your employer brand with other organization, with your competitors, then what do you need to do? Then you need to understand the common things, positioning category for how your competitors are positioning their organization. They are positioning for meaningful job, they are positioning for teamwork, they are positioning for this empowerment or autonomy given at a workplace, they are positioning for innovation, they are positioning for learning, career, performance, status. So, you need to understand for how your organization is positioning and how your competitors are positioning. So, make a comprehensive list of all those parameters and then do a survey. Right, and identify why people would like to work for A company, company B and company C, right, and then you can do the comparative analysis. Let us assume that 25% people says they would like to work for company A because they provide the meaningful job. 30% people say they work for company B because company B provides the meaningful job. Company C, let us assume that 40% people say we would like to work for company C because it provides the meaningful job. So, that is how you can do the comparative analysis. So, you can say in one of the parameter purpose, that meaningful job, that company C is having stronger brand than the company A and B. So, that is how you can conduct the survey for remaining positioning category also, and then you can understand for which reason people would like to join your organization and how it is better than how where you stand in term of with your competitors. That is what you can analyze and you can compare with your competitor brand, and you can take initiative what you should do in order to make your brand better than the competitors. If you want to understand the impact of this employer brand, right, so that employer brand index that you can use. So first I would like to tell you like this employee engagement index is there, right, employer brand uh, index is there, customer satisfaction index is there, right. So what happens in this, right, certain questions will be there. Would you like to, like in previous slide I have shown for the employer brand, that is what you can see here, like do you know about this company. So in the similar way, for other index also, for engagement index also, for customer satisfaction index also, such kind of questions are there, and then you will get a one score, right, and then after that you can calculate the correlation, regression. These are the analysis that you can do here. So first you need to develop a index, and then you collect the data, get a number, and after that you can run a correlation, regression, right. So here in the case of understand the impact, this you can run a regression, like how employer brand impacts the employee engagement and customer satisfaction. That is what one thing that you can do it, as well as employer brand index year wise that you can write here, like let us say it is a, if it is a 5-point scale. So earlier in 2022 it was 3, 23 it became 3.5, 24 it became 4, right. And what is annual turnover? So that attrition rate, what is the attrition rate? Let us assume here it was 25, then it became 20 and 15. So here we can say that employer brand is becoming strong and annual turnover is decreasing. So this pattern that you can see, in the same way this rate of absence, or you can also you can calculate in term of the numbers, how many what was the average absent rate, right, in during the 2022. So let us say it is a 40, then it became 30, and then it became a 20. So it clearly indicates that this employer brand index is having the relationship with the annual turnover and rate of absence, right. And the moment you will conduct the correlation analysis between employer brand index and employee engagement and customer satisfaction, then these correlation values also will indicate what kind of relationship is there between these two variables, right. That is what you can see here. So that is how you can understand the impact of employer brand with the attrition rate and rate of absence. For example, how that Tata is doing the employer branding. So they believe in two things, right. Their strategy to build a brand is business excellence and ethics. These are the two things on which they focus. So you will see they will take an initiative how they will perform better as compared to with their competitors. So they will take the initiative for the excellence and for ethical. What is ethical for their employees, for their customers, for their stakeholders. So they will take such kind of initiatives, so which have developed a very strong brand, that as we are already aware in India, Tata is having very good employer brand, right. So this is the strategy. So in the same way you can develop the strategy after analyzing and comparing your brand with the competitors. So you can develop, so that is how this analysis will help you to develop the your strategy, what should be your strategy to develop a strong employer brand. So internally how you are developing the employer branding. So just initiatives that you have taken, like any customized training that you have done. So how many training that is done, coaching, how many coaching sessions are done, how many mentoring sessions are done, knowledge sharing sessions are done. So, if it is your strategy to develop the internal brand through these initiatives, so you can make a list of these all initiatives that you have done, and then you can quantify how many times that particular activity is taking place, like for training, for example, coaching, mentoring and knowledge sharing session, and then you can see the impact of these activities by understanding the attrition rate, absent rate, right, and complaint and praises analysis. So, that is what you can analyze, and then you can understand the impact of internal branding also. In the same way, impact of initiatives through the technology. So, that first one of the initiative that you can say interactive voice response. So, sometime you might have seen this through computer we call to the applicants, right, to give some information about the organization. Chatbot also we use to give information, survey of best place to work, right. So, how it is impacting the employer brand, and website content, whatever content that is available on a website, how it is impacting the employer brand. So, that kind of initiatives that you can see, and then you can check the impact, right. And one more thing that you can see, which I like very much, if you will ask about this employer branding activity, after doing this employer branding activity, right, for 1 year, just check the job search intensity among the potential candidate, right, potential candidate. So, how you can check it? What was the number of potential candidate who had visited your website last year and this year? For example, 2023, what was the number? Let us assume it was the 1000. If 2024 it reaches to the 2000 after some of the activities, yes, then you can say it is making some impact. And second activity that you can see, called to the organization after applying to check the status of the application. So, when some potential candidate have applied to your organization, then how many calls you are receiving last year, this year, right, and last year, how many calls that you have receiving. Same thing that you can do after the interview also, how many calls, how many times people are calling just to know and check their status. That is what, these are the analysis that you can understand to know the job search intensity. And on social media also you can see, in order to understand the matrix that you can develop for the social media matrix, these are 4 parameters that you can see, or if you would like to add some more parameters that you can add it. So, first thing that you can see, on monthly how many new followers are added, 1000, any number that you will be getting it, so that you can check for your organization wise how on different social media pages how many new followers are increasing, how many people are visiting your career views, career page view, job apply month wise, right, how many people are applying every month. So, what is the trend? So, that is what you can see. On YouTube, how many people are liking your videos, and what is the average time of watching the videos related to the company, whatever videos that you have posted. So, that is how you can track your progress on the social media, and whether, so if it is increasing as per your initiatives, then you can say yes, it has some impact, right. If it is not increasing after taking initiative also, then you need to think about it. So, in this session we have learned some more metrics related to the employer brand. So, I hope these metrics would be useful for you in order to assess the strength of your brand and making the strategies for the employer brand. Thank you.